People don't stay poor because the world is unfair. They stay poor because comfort is killing them. Here's something nobody wants to hear. Building wealth isn't mysterious. It's just uncomfortable. Most people think riches hide behind locked doors or require genius-level IQ. That's false. Money follows simple rules. The problem? Those rules demand something painful. They require you to face uncomfortable truths about yourself and the world. People want easy money that falls into their lap while they stay comfortable, but comfort is your enemy. The old power masters understood one thing. Money goes to people who accept reality, not fantasy. So let's destroy the pretty lies. Forget the advice that says, just stay loyal to your job and rewards will come. Forget posters that promise, believe hard enough and magic happens. Those messages exist to keep you tame, compliant, and trapped. Riches don't land on wishful thinkers who wait around. They go to players who understand the actual game. Here's truth number one. Poor people are stuck because they're boring. They repeat identical patterns daily. Wake up, check phone, drive to work, complain, go home, watch shows, sleep, repeat. The routine feels safe, but it kills hunger. And it makes you simple to manipulate. Does the system want you wealthy? Absolutely not. It wants you to be obedient. Obedient people don't question anything. They just pay, follow, and stay in line. The wise strategists from history would find this hilarious. They knew that power and money come to those who see truth, not fantasy. You hope your manager notices your effort and promotes you. You hope fairness exists. You hope kindness brings cash. None of that is how things work. Reality looks like this. The person controlling the system gets paid. The person working inside the system stays broke. That's why wealth is brutally simple. It's not luck or brilliance. It's courage to quit playing a rigged game. Poor people's rules say work hard, save pennies, and pray. Rich people's rules say own things, control outcomes, and grow assets. Picture two individuals. Person one clocks in daily. Each month they save a tiny portion, hoping someday it adds up. Person two uses identical energy but starts a venture, masters valuable skills, and learns persuasion. 10 years pass. Person one has modest savings and a worn-out body. Person two owns income streams, assets, and total freedom. Same decade, same hours, completely opposite results. Why? One followed safety rules, the other followed power rules. Now, here's the psychology. Humans fear risk more than they crave success. This terror locks them in self-made prisons. They grab onto the idea of security, not seeing that the idea of safety is fake. Jobs disappear, markets collapse, inflation destroys your savings. The safe road is actually the most dangerous. But history teaches us the daring claim power, never the timid. If riches are your target, flip your thinking. Stop asking, what's the safest choice? And start asking, what gives me leverage? Stop saying, what if I mess up? And start saying, what if I never even attempt this? That single mental shift can rewrite your entire existence. But let's dig deeper. Why do folks stay poor even when they understand all this? Simple answer. They mistake busyness for progress. They grind hard, yes. They hustle, sure. But they hustle in circles. They dump energy into jobs that cap their growth, into habits that dull their hunger, into people who drain their focus. Then they wonder why nothing changes. Getting rich follows a straight path. Understand how cash flows. Position yourself in the flow. Capture more than you release until you gain control. Protect it. Multiply it. That's the entire blueprint. The steps aren't complicated science. The struggle is having the guts and discipline to execute them. Think of money like a river. Most folks stand on the bank hoping droplets splash their way. The wealthy build channels that redirect the entire river onto their property. Same river, same water. But one group begs, while the other group owns the supply. And here's where ancient wisdom hits hardest. People act because of two things: fear and desire. The rich use both. They make others afraid of missing out, and they dangle what everyone craves. This is how companies, brands, and personalities earn fortunes. They're not pushing items, they're selling emotion and desire. So when you think about wealth, don't picture stacks of bills. Picture control over what people want. The person who makes others crave what he owns will always have money. The person who positions herself as irreplaceable will always hold power. But here's a warning. The painful part isn't just gaining wealth, it's what happens after. When you start climbing, jealousy arrives. People whisper, they'll call you lucky, selfish, or worse. That's the cost of leaving the herd. History's strategists warned long ago, if you seek power, expect enemies. Wealth works the same way. To keep it, prepare for pushback. So, here's your critical question. Are you willing to abandon comfort and chase control instead? Will you face the fear, the doubt, the criticism, and keep moving anyway? Because if you will, the road is wide open. It always was. Poor people live in illusion. Rich people live in reality. Reality is harsh and unforgiving, but it's also shockingly simple. Now let's break down why people stay frozen even when truth sits right in front of them. It's not lack of intelligence. It's not missing chances. It's because they've been programmed to think small. From childhood, you're taught to obey rules. Don't question authority. Don't gamble. Stay in line. Attend school. Earn good marks. Land a secure position. That script repeats endlessly. Not because it makes you successful, but because it makes you controllable. Controlled individuals never rise. Think about it. School doesn't teach money, mechanics. It doesn't show you sales, investing, or building something yours. Instead, it trains you to be an obedient employee. You're rewarded for sitting quietly, raising your hand, and memorizing information. That's not training for wealth. That's training for servitude. The ancient power experts would laugh at this because they knew systems serve the people at the top, the rulers, the elites, the owners. They don't want competition. They want you thinking your small paycheck and weekend breaks are sufficient. They want you dreaming about one vacation yearly while they own the airlines, the resorts, and the restaurants. So when I say building wealth is shockingly straightforward, I mean this. The toughest part isn't learning the steps. It's unlearning the programming drilled into you since birth. You must break the script. Imagine a man waking at 6 every morning. He wears the same clothes, drives the same route, sits in the same desk, answers the same messages. He does this 40 years. Then one day he retires with a tiny pension and a tired body. Did he ever have a shot at real wealth? Of course not. He traded his life for crumbs, all because he followed the script. Now picture another man. Same starting point, same world. But instead of blindly obeying, he questions everything. He studies business models. He learns persuasion. He saves to invest, not hoard. He builds something small, maybe online, maybe a side project. Over time, that small thing expands. He reinvests, scales, and suddenly doesn't need the job anymore. 10 years later, he owns freedom the first man never imagined. That's the gap. Not smarts, not fortune, just willingness to shatter the script. But here's the catch. Most won't. Why? Because shattering the script feels scary. And humans love comfort. Comfort is warm, safe, known. But comfort is also a cage. The old wisdom says it best. People forget danger when times feel good. but danger never forgets them. Truth is, if you want wealth, get uncomfortable. Take risks that twist your stomach. Push through nights of uncertainty, mornings of anxiety, and days of doubt. That's the brutal part. But beyond that brutality lies freedom. And here's something rarely mentioned. The rich aren't smarter than you. They just see the game through different eyes. They see money as a tool, not a prize. They see risk as opportunity, not threat. They see people not as buddies, but as allies, competitors, or buyers. This perspective shift changes everything. For example, look at how average folks spend their earnings. Paycheck arrives and immediately bills get paid, entertainment gets bought, maybe a little gets saved. Money vanishes before it can multiply. The wealthy flip it. They invest first. They put cash into things that generate more cash, ventures, assets, people. Then, with what remains, they handle bills and fun. Over time, this tiny difference creates enormous gaps. Imagine two friends earning identical $3,000 monthly. Friend A spends $2,500 on rent, bills, food, and fun. Saves $500 monthly in a bank. After 1 year, $6,000 saved. But inflation weakens it and money loses power. Friend B lives leaner, spends $2,000, invests $1,000 into skills or building something. After 1 year, maybe no big savings, but his skill now earns $5,000, $10,000, even $20,000 monthly. 10 years later, friend A is still broke but comfortable. Friend B is free, wealthy, powerful. The brutal simplicity is this: where you place your money and time today decides whether you're trapped or free tomorrow. And here's the deeper psychology. People don't truly want freedom. They claim they do. But freedom demands responsibility. Most want safety, not freedom. They want someone else handling them, the boss, the government, the system. But those who genuinely want wealth must own their lives completely. No excuses, no waiting, no blaming, just action. This is where old strategic wisdom shines. It teaches that people are fickle, cowardly, and greedy. They follow the strong but step on the weak. So if you want wealth, project strength. Appear as someone controlling their world, not someone begging for scraps. Confidence attracts money. Desperation pushes it away. Now let's talk tactics. If you're starting from zero, where do you begin? First step isn't money, it's skill. Develop a skill that creates value. Selling, writing, coding, designing, speaking, negotiating. These are weapons in the wealth war. Without them, you're defenseless. With them, you're unstoppable. Once you have a skill, use it to build leverage. Leverage means extracting more from your effort than what you invest. A job is weak leverage. You trade 1 hour for 1 paycheck. A business is strong leverage. 1 product, 1 video, 1 concept can touch thousands, millions even. That's why the rich constantly hunt for leverage. They don't want harder work. They want smarter work with multiplying impact. The average person thinks, how can I earn more per hour? The wealthy think, how can I create something paying me forever? One mindset traps you in time, the other buys you freedom. But here's the brutal reminder. Leverage requires bravery. To build a venture, to invest, to scale, you must face failure. You must risk looking foolish, risk losing cash, risk being wrong. Most people can't handle that, so they stay safe but broke. The few who endure the pain end up free. So, let's connect it all. Getting rich is simple because it's about playing a different game. A game where abilities matter more than diplomas. A game where control matters more than comfort. A game where courage matters more than fear. The rules aren't hidden, they're obvious, but only a few dare to play. And here's the question, will you? Because if you don't, you'll live the script. Work, pay, complain, repeat. If you do, you'll break free. You'll join the small circle of those who own, control, and multiply. That's the circle the ancient strategists would respect, the ones who accept reality, embrace risk, and seize power. Wealth is not for everyone, never has been, but for those willing to face brutal truth, it's nearer than you think. Now, let's go even deeper. By now you grasp that wealth doesn't come from luck, endless grinding, or waiting for recognition. It comes from control, from leverage, from refusing to follow the script trapping most people. But let's examine the real strategies, the battlefield moves, separating the rich from everyone else. Because here's the thing, money is war. Not a war with weapons and violence, but a war with ideas, influence, and attention. And just like in war, those who hesitate, who fear, who cling to safety, they get destroyed. The ancient masters knew this. They said fortune favors the bold, but only when the bold are prepared. And when it comes to money, preparation is everything. If you enter the wealth game blind, you get devoured. But if you enter with knowledge, tactics, and willingness to fight, you win. So, what are the tactics? Let's break them down. Tactic 1. Own something. Don't just work for something. Poor people trade time for cash. Rich people trade ownership for cash. This is the brutal divide. If you're only working, you're always limited. Even working 16 hours daily, there are only so many hours in a year. Ownership, however, is unlimited. When you own a venture, a product, or even a tiny piece of equity, you're no longer limited by hours. You're limited only by scale. Think about massive online retailers. The founders didn't get rich working 9 to 5. They got rich because they owned the platform. Millions worked for them. Billions of customers bought from them. And their ownership multiplied their wealth beyond what hours ever could. You don't need to build empires, but you must own something. A venture, a brand, a product, an asset. Tactic 2. Use people's desire against them. Most folks make choices based on feelings, not logic. They want to feel powerful, attractive, respected, admired. The rich grasp this and exploit it. They sell dreams, not products. They sell status, not items. Look at luxury brands. A $5 shirt and a $500 shirt might be made in the same place, but people pay more because the expensive one makes them feel important. That's desire. And when you control desire, you control wealth. Old wisdom says people are driven by two forces, fear and wanting. Make people fear missing out. Make them crave what only you provide. That's how you flip the game. Tactic 3. Build systems, not jobs. A job makes you money once. A system makes you money forever. A system can be an online venture, a sales process, a social channel, a rental property, or an automated process. Once built, it runs with little effort, and money keeps flowing. Poor people never think in systems, they only think in tasks, but the rich build once, profit forever. Think about content creators. One video made once can earn them money for years. That's a system. Compare that to the worker who must clock in daily to earn the same paycheck. Brutally simple, isn't it? Tactic 4. Protect and multiply. Making money is one step. Keeping it is another. Multiplying it is the final test. Poor people spend what they earn. Middle class saves what they earn. Rich people invest what they earn. Every dollar is a soldier. Poor people send their soldiers to the mall. Rich people send their soldiers to battlefields, where they return with more soldiers. This is why the rich get richer. They don't let money sit idle. They make it work harder than they do. Property, stocks, businesses, intellectual creations, they all serve the same purpose: multiplication. Tactic 5. Appear strong even when you're not. Ancient wisdom wrote that appearances matter more than reality. When it comes to wealth, perception is power. If people see you as successful, they treat you differently. Opportunities open, doors unlock. Think of influencers flashing cars and watches online. Many don't even own them. But their appearance of wealth attracts real wealth. People follow, buy, invest. The old masters were right. People judge by their eyes, not their minds. If you want money, master the art of appearance. Now here's where most people fail. They hear these tactics, nod their heads, then do nothing. They say, "It's too hard, it's too risky, it's not for me." And in that moment, they hand the game to someone else. But if you're still here listening, it means you're different. You feel the fire inside. You know there's more to life than waiting for a paycheck. So let's go even deeper into the mindset you need to hold wealth once you start building it. Because here's the truth. Making money is hard, but keeping it is harder. Wealth changes you. It changes how people see you. It attracts envy, leeches, predators. If you're not ready for this, you'll lose everything. Ancient wisdom warned rulers about this. It said, a leader must learn how not to be good, how to be ruthless when needed, how to protect against betrayal. The same is true with money. Wealth attracts fake friends wanting handouts, family members who suddenly remember you, business partners who turn greedy. If you're naive, they'll drain you dry. That's why the rich are careful. They guard their money like a fortress. They use contracts, lawyers, accountants, and structures to shield their wealth. They don't show weakness because weakness invites attack. If you want to stay rich, think the same way. And here's another brutal truth. Wealth will test your discipline. The moment you taste money, you'll be tempted to waste it. Flashy cars, parties, expensive toys. That's how the newly rich fall back into poverty. They confuse money with status instead of using money to build power. The truly wealthy don't spend for status. They spend for strategy. They buy assets, not liabilities. They buy freedom, not approval. That's the difference. So what's the end game of all this? Why go through the brutality of risk, the pain of discipline, the fight against envy and betrayal? Wealth isn't about gold chains or mansions. Those are side effects. True wealth means no one controls your time. No boss, no alarm clock, no begging for days off. It means you live on your terms. Go where you want, do what you want, answer to no one. That's power. That's why ancient wisdom still matters. Because power and wealth are the same game, and the path to it, brutally simple. See the world as it is, reject the script, build skills, take risks, own assets, protect them, multiply them, project strength, and never, ever go back to comfort. Most will hear this and stay the same. A few will hear this and change their lives forever. The question is, who are you? We've torn away the illusions. We've exposed the script. We've broken down the tactics. Now, let's bring it all together. Because here's the thing, knowing is not enough. You can read 1,000 books, listen to endless podcasts, fill your mind with wisdom, but if you never act, you stay broke. This is the last and most brutal truth about getting rich. It demands action. Not talking, not dreaming, not planning forever. Action. Ancient strategists understood this about power. They wrote that fortune is like a river. It can flood and destroy those who sit idle, but it can be harnessed by those who prepare and act. Wealth works the same way. Opportunities come and go like floods. If you sit waiting, you're drowned. If you act, you build dams, channels, rivers that flow into your own hands. So what does acting look like? Let's make it simple. Step 1. Choose one skill and master it. Don't scatter your focus across 10 things. Pick one skill that creates value and commit to it. Sales, persuasion, writing, coding, trading, marketing, public speaking, any of these can be weapons, but a weapon is useless if left dull. Sharpen it daily. Mastery creates confidence, and confidence attracts money. Step 2. Stop thinking like a worker. If you want wealth, think like an owner. Workers ask, how much will I earn per hour? Owners ask, how much can I create that earns me forever? This single shift in thinking is the doorway to wealth. Step 3. Build leverage. You can't get rich alone. You need leverage, tools, systems, people, platforms. If you write, use the internet to reach millions. If you sell, build a team that multiplies your efforts. If you invest, let your money compound while you sleep. Wealth is not about working harder. It's about building structures that work without you. Step 4. Embrace brutality. This is the part most skip. Getting rich will hurt. It will stretch you. Test your patience, your courage, your discipline. People will mock you. Friends may leave you. Family might not understand you. The world will resist you because you are breaking free from its chains. This is the brutal price. But on the other side is freedom. Step 5. Protect your fortress. The moment you start building wealth, guard it. Use contracts. Use clear boundaries. Cut off leeches. Expect betrayal. Ancient wisdom warned rulers about conspiracies and envy. And the same forces attack the wealthy today. Stay alert. Stay sharp. Build walls around your wealth so it serves you and your legacy. Now let's talk about the psychology of the end game. Because if you don't have the right mindset, wealth will slip through your hands. Here's what usually happens. A poor man becomes rich. Suddenly he has more money than ever before. But instead of investing, he spends. Instead of building systems, he buys toys. He tries to look rich instead of staying rich. Soon the money is gone and he is back to nothing. This happens because he never understood the brutal simplicity. Wealth is not money. Wealth is control. If you control your time, your choices, your future, you are rich. If you depend on a paycheck, even if it's large, you are poor. Ancient wisdom wrote that rulers must think not just of today but of tomorrow and the generations after. That's what true wealth is about. Building something that lasts, money that feeds your children, assets that outlive you, a name that carries weight long after you're gone. That is legacy. But here's where it gets real. Most won't do this. Most people will finish hearing this and go back to comfort. They'll scroll their phones, complain about life, repeat the same cycle tomorrow. And that's why wealth is rare. Not because it's complicated, but because most don't have the stomach for the brutality of discipline. So, ask yourself, which side will you be on? Will you be one of the predictable masses living in comfort until the system eats you alive? Or will you be the rare few who face reality head-on, who risk, who fight, who build, who win? Let me give you a vision of what happens when you commit to this. Imagine waking up and knowing you never have to work a job again. Imagine walking into a store and buying what you want, not because you're reckless, but because you can. Imagine traveling when you want, where you want, because time belongs to you. Imagine building something that supports not only you, but your children and their children. That is freedom. That is wealth. And the road to it, brutally simple. Learn, build, own, protect, multiply, repeat. The ancient masters were right. People are blind, emotional, and easy to control. But if you rise above that, if you learn to control yourself, to master your fears, to embrace risk, you can control not just money but your destiny. So here's the call to action. Don't wait. Don't scroll away. Don't promise yourself you'll start tomorrow. Start now. Pick a skill. Study money. Take a risk. Build something, even small. Every empire started with one brick. Every fortune started with one step. Because the world doesn't reward the dreamer, it rewards the doer. And here's the closing line I want burned into your mind. Getting rich is not complicated. It is brutally simple. The question is, are you willing to face the brutal part? If you found value in this, hit that like button and let Winds of Thought know this message resonated with you. The few who act will rise. The many who wait will stay exactly where they are. Which will you be?